Deep in the dense forest, far from the eyes of the world, a mysterious and suspenseful story unfolds. This story revolves around a young man named Nicola, who lived a quiet life in a small village surrounded by vast forests. From a young age, Nicholas was fascinated by ancient legends and stories, especially those of lost treasure and exciting adventures. One day, his wise grandfather told him a special story, a story about an enormous treasure believed to be buried deep in the forest of Avaloria. It is said that this treasure holds magic and great power, but no one has been able to find it until now. Nicola was astonished by this story and could not ignore the deep inspiration in his heart. He decided to be the brave one who defied the odds and searched for this lost treasure. His search journey will be full of adventures and challenges, as he must exist in the face of steep terrain and hidden dangers. Nicola is standing at the edge of the dense forest. He gets one last look at his small village before embarking on an adventure full of mystery and suspense. He felt his heart beating with indescribable strength and joy. He had dreamed of this adventure since his childhood, and today the time has come to achieve it. He held his small bag containing some basic tools for hunting, and a small decorated box containing a picture of his wise grandfather, one of those who inspired Nicholas with fairy tales and interesting adventures. The image of his grandfather represented courage and wisdom for him, and a reminder that he is not alone in his journey. Nicholas began walking steadily into the forest, where tall trees form a natural roof blocking the sun's rays and creating an atmosphere of mystery and secrecy. The forest was full of life and sounds, from the intense singing of birds to the soft sound of moving through the leaves. Nicola came to a small river that ran deep in the forest, its clear waters shining in the penetrating rays of the sun. He decided to take a break meanwhile. He used his grandfather's box for a snack. While he was relaxing, Nicholas noticed a strange figure walking towards him from afar. He had an adventurous appearance, his rugged clothes and large pack indicating that he was a skilled hunter. "Come closer," the stranger from Nicholas with a friendly smile. "Hello, my friend," said the stranger in a confident voice. "I'm Jack, a professional hunter. I saw you resting here, and I know you're heading to the forest of Avaloria. Are you looking for something specific?" Nicholas looked at Jack in astonishment, knowing that he had never shared his plans with anyone before. However, he felt a strange urge to trust the stranger, and answered cautiously, "I am Nicholas, and I am here to search for a lost treasure in the forest of Avaloria." "But how do you know?" Jack smiled and replied, "I am your hidden role model, my friend. I had heard of his wise grandfather's reputation and his wonderful stories, so I decided to help you on your journey. I crave adventure and challenge, and treasure hunting is my passion as well." Nicola was surprised by this coincidental meeting, but he felt that he was not alone on this trip. He decided to accept Jack's help, as he saw it as an opportunity to benefit from his hunting experience and learn from him. The duo set off on their journey to the forest of Avaloria, with lush trees dancing in their shadows. The sounds of the nearby wild animals and rivers resounded, as if saluting them and encouraging them to go on. The forest was a natural maze with hills, valleys, and small waterfalls. As they walked down the narrow paths and past the big trees, Nicholas felt nervous. Over time, the forest turned into a complex and mysterious maze. The duo had to navigate overhanging trees, large stumps and tangled branches. They were walking very carefully, as there were no clear signs pointing to the right path. Suddenly, Jack stopped and looked around intently. "Something strange is going on here," he said in a whisper. "I noticed an unusual presence of animals and birds in this area. Something seemed to attract them." Nicholas was surprised, but soon realized that there was a secret waiting for them. They decide to follow the strange sounds and mysterious tracks left by the animals on the trees. They advanced through the woods, and the sunlight that filtered through the branches of the trees faded. The skies turned thick dark, and the forest was full of mystery and suspense. Suddenly, they were confronted by a wall of thick bushes blocking their path. They tried to overcome the obstacle, but the bushes faded and regenerated strangely as they approached. "This is really weird," Nicole said with astonishment. "It's as if the forest wants to keep us away from something." At this moment, Nicholas noticed something shimmering in the far distance. There was a bright imprint on the trunk of a tree. It looked like a signal. With this mysterious discovery, Nicholas' heart springs with courage and beats strong. He and Jack approached the trunk that bore the shining imprint, and when he placed his hand on it, a small spark of lightning shot through the air. "We must follow this sparkling footprint," exclaimed Nicola excitedly. "Maybe it will lead us to the key to the mystery and show us a way to the treasure." With this, the duo began their exciting journey through the dark forest, as they followed the bright prints on the scattered trees. The imprints were mysteriously fading and appearing, making them a traveling source of suspense. The further they advanced, the more mystery and tension in the air. A deafening silence spread around them, as if the forest blocked any sound that tried to escape. The giant trees were fading into the darkness and becoming like vague shadows surrounding them. In a sudden moment, the sparkling fingerprints stopped. The duo found themselves in front of a small waterfall flowing through scattered rocks. The waterfall was shining brightly and emitting magical energy. Nicholas advanced with cautious steps, and when he reached the edge of the waterfall, he felt something strange activating in his body, as if it was pulling him towards the waterfall. He decided to jump in, ignoring any fear or doubt. When he was submerged in the water, Nicholas felt a new presence around him. And when Nicholas opened his eyes to find himself in a magical, luminous cave. The walls were decorated with ancient symbols and mysterious drawings. In the middle of the cave, there was a huge statue that seemed to be holding an ancient key in its hand. "It's the key we're looking for," exclaimed Nicola with joy and amazement. "We found a special place. Maybe the treasure is here." Jack, who had followed Nicola into the cave, looked around admiringly and said, "This cave looks like it's telling an old story, a story of magic and mystery. But we have to be careful. We may face serious challenges to reach the treasure." With their dedication and courage, the duo set out to solve the mystery of the cave. They discover that they must activate a series of complex mechanisms and solve challenging puzzles in order to unlock the passage leading to the treasure. Gather around the colossal statue and begin to operate the moving parts, solving puzzles that require strategic thinking and careful coordination. Catch the ancient sound of mechanisms as they move from room to room in the luminous cave. Finally, after a long series of challenges and excitement, the duo managed to activate the last part of the mechanism. Suddenly, a huge portal opened in the wall, revealing a secret chamber that gleamed with the luster of gold and precious stones. The lost treasure was right in front of their eyes. Nicola and Jack's eyes seemed to gleam with surprise and excitement at the treasure they had waited so long to find. The hidden room was filled with precious jewels, gold, money, and ancient treasures that they had never imagined they would see. There were tiaras of diamonds glowing with their brilliance, necklaces studded with rare gems, and chests of pure gold containing countless riches. In the depths of the room, there was an ancient wooden chest believed to hold the magical power that gives the treasure its great power. Nicola and Jack slowly approached the box, as if they were feeling cautious and humbled by this great discovery. They simply opened the box to discover that it contained ancient scrolls and a collection of magical tools. Nicola pondered over the ancient manuscripts and began to read the occult texts. With every page he turned, his eyes sparkled brighter and ideas began to flow into his mind. It is the key to the magic and power that this treasure holds. Together with Jack, Nicholas begins to understand the mysteries scrolls and learn to use magic tools. Embark on a new journey of power and adventure, as they use their new powers to serve good and fight evil. And with that, Nicholas' real adventure begins, but this time powerfully. After exploring the cave and finding the lost treasure, Nicola and Jack decide to use the magical power and knowledge they have gained to fight evil and bring peace to the world. The duo heads to a remote village plagued by evil forces. When they reached the village, it was dark and the people were living in fear and turmoil. The villain who ruled the village was an evil wizard who sought to exploit magical powers to serve his evil goals. And with Nicola and Jack, hope springs into the hearts of the residents. Using ancient scrolls and magical tools, Nicholas and Jack lead the population in an epic war against the forces of evil. They used their magic and skills to block the attacks of the evil wizard and turn his power against him. The battles were fierce and the challenges difficult, but Nicola and Jack showed unwavering courage and determination. Use their abilities wisely and cooperate with the local population to eradicate the forces of evil and restore peace and justice. With the passage of time, the forces of evil are fading away and their control over the village is waning. Finally, the evil wizard is defeated and Nicholas and Jack are appointed as protectors of the village. The residents celebrate their victory and thank Nicola and Jack for their bravery and strength. The duo became a living legend in the village, and treasured the lost treasure as a symbol of hope and strength. At that moment, Nicola and Jack realize that their journey does not end here. They decide to use the treasure and their new powers to continue fighting evil around the world. They pledged to stand with the weak and the oppressed, and to protect the green spaces and beautiful forests that inspired them. Nicholas and Jack traveled all over the earth, where they fought evil monsters and confronted unjust sorcerers. Their adventures were full of challenges and confrontations, but they did not lose hope. Use wisdom and courage to achieve victories and ignite the flame of hope in people's hearts. Years passed and Nicola and Jack's reputation spread throughout the world. They became a symbol of courage and justice, and were known as magic warriors. Gathering around them teams of warriors and wizards to their cause, and together they fought for peace and justice in the world. In the end, Nicola and Jack were able to make a huge positive difference. They restored safety and peace in many places, and left a positive imprint on people's hearts. Their story has become an inspiration for generations to come, a reminder that courage and willpower can change the world. And with that, the story of Nicola and Jack, magical warriors who embark on epic adventures and make a difference in the world, ends. People have never forgotten their story.